in any sport, the coach is always held responsible for the performance of a team. Although we know the coach can only coach and not actually play the game. What are some of your experience, when I say experience, how do you see your coaching for the past couple of months actually benefiting this team in this tournament?
I must first mention that rugby is more than a game. You know, when you actually see it advertised, they actually say rugby is more than a game. It's a lifestyle, right? And that is very true to the sport. You know, rugby has a community. You could leave from anywhere in the world playing rugby, and you go and you get the same treatment. You know, rugby is a developing sport. You know, as in, you know, Ross talked about the safety aspects. The IRB, right, which is like the FIFA, they actually change rules to suit. You know, so rugby players, you know, they go trying to get bigger and bulky. You know, they sensitize the scrums. You know, now everybody's on leaner. You see, you look back, everybody's leaner. As you say, you look small, but you know, it's more all muscle mass and everything. You know, so you know they let the game flow, and they appreciate, you know, how a game, and they're very willing to change things to work with certain rules. You know, rules might be in for 6 months and then they take it out, see that didn't work, which is what rugby is. You know, it's a sport that's what the sport is. As a coach, my first priority is not, I don't go out saying that we have to win. You know, because it's a lifestyle. I treat it like these boys have to become men, respectful men. You know, and know what their priorities are. You know, as a coach, I have to put up with, I mean, this is probably the worst time to have the tournament because I have about 6, 7, 8 weeks of people having exams, you know, lessons, this, you know, and I can't tell somebody to go to lessons to come here. You know, they need to find a balance. You know, exactly. You know, and we work with their parents. You know, on the safety aspect. As I'll tell anybody, learn the rules of rugby. Rugby is actually very, very safe. You know, we said, oh, well, American football has the helmets and everything. You know, and when you go and you look at the stats and you look at the injuries that happen to people, you know, there are very few people that you actually hear come out of rugby saying that, you know, they can never play the sport again. You know, because there are a lot of rules, you know, because it's very, very strict on safety. That's actually one of the number one things in playing rugby. When people come up, you know, and come to us as coaches and say, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done that. To me, you know, the winning game is when I see my boys come out after playing and they know they've given their all, and they come out and then they respect the other team, you know, because I've seen that, you know, I've seen them in football, I've seen them in different sports, you know, they always say this one did that, this one did that, you know. The game is finished, you know, there's always going to be a winner, there's always going to be a loser, but it's how you treat, you know, your opposition. That's how I think.
And within 2 minutes to send this tournament to the public, tell the viewers why you come out and see what Saturday will see.
Come out and support Trinidad Rugby because you'll see different. You will see a different class of divide of players, of people, you know, of spectators. You know, it's actually a family sport, you know, and you come out and it's something different, you know, something new, something fresh, you know, it might be the rules, but it's actually very entertaining. You know, that's all I can say.
Well, basically for the same reasons that the sport is something that maybe because people don't know the rules, they're not so interested in the game, but look up irb.com and just learn a couple rules before you come on a match, and you'll see that you have fun, that you enjoy the game more than you thought you would. And we know people like the sensationalization of the big physical contact sports you see, especially in the US with American football. Come out and see if you like the same sort of thing. It's not always going to be football in Trinidad. We are developing sports, and when we develop, we want to see that people are coming out to support us. The sport is not going to develop by itself. We need you all to come out and help.
Mr. Nero,
well, likewise, I'd like to add that that I think it will be a great attraction to the public to come out and support one youth rugby in particular. I think it's an age group that we always want to support. And if the other thing is that just because it's your national team and that sense of national pride and your support would always be the catalyst for giving them the edge.
Yeah. And starts on the 6th and 13th of July. 2 games per day. 1 at 2 and 1 at 5, am I correct?
1 at 2 and 1 at 4.
1 at 2 and 1 at 4. How long is the rugby?
At the under 19 level, it's 35 minutes an hour, so 70 minutes.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to thank you all very much for coming and enlightening us and maybe a couple of viewers who might not have known much about rugby. Indeed, I've given another Monday next week to as we come again and we will chat further on how your preparations are going, and actually there's a couple of days before the actual tournament. I know you won't be here, but you have different representatives coming. We want to take a thank you and wish you all the best. I know that I'll be seeing you all sometime next week at your practice venue. And I can say to you, come to us 25 to assist you in whatever way we can. It's always a pleasure to help the sport that needs helping.
I'd like to take the opportunity to say on behalf of the Giants of the world, we want to thank you and your organization for having us and giving us this opportunity to spread the sport.
Thank you. Well, viewers, we're going to take our final break before the end of the program. In the last 10 minutes, we're going to be discussing actually the finals of the ICC cricket tournament